You're watching CHCO-TV's gavel-to-gavel coverage of the July 2024 regular council meeting for the Municipality of Eastern Charlotte. I'm Florence Mitchell. In today's meeting, under Old Business, Building Bylaw EC-12 will have its third and final reading by title, and Bylaws Z.2.4 and Z.2.5, amending the rural plan for the Village of Blacks Harbour, will have a date set for a public hearing. Under New Business, Council will discuss Building Permit Refund Policy 07-2024, a hospitality levy for the Granite Town Hotel, and the results of Tender 2024-04 for a surplus fire truck. Council will also discuss the conversion of 3 roads in the municipality to public roads: Birch Lane in St. George, Mill Street in Blacks Harbour, and Mountain Court in Blacks Harbour. Now let's join Council at Macadavic Place in St. George.
I will now call the meeting to order at 7 o'clock at Macadavic Place, St. George. Good evening and welcome to the July 2024 regular council meeting for the Eastern Charlotte Council. This is our 19th official council meeting for Eastern Charlotte, 22 more to go until the end of this council's term. I welcome all those that are attending here tonight and those that are watching us on television or on their cell phone or computer. I wish to welcome and thank CHCO for being here tonight. Florence Mitchell is in the back doing all the switching. And of course, their star, Vicki Hogarth, doing the camera tonight. In attendance tonight, we have Chris McKinnon, our assistant clerk right here, and our CEO, Jason Gaudette, is with us tonight. The 2 on the agenda tonight is the adoption of the agenda. I'm looking for a motion to adopt the agenda for the meeting of July 17th, the regular meeting of council as presented. I need Councillor Lee. I'm just going to write that down. And Councillor McKay, I think, seconded. Is that right? Question or comment on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Contrary, and that's passed unanimously. That brings us to number 3, conflict of interest disclosure. This is your opportunity to disclose any conflict of interest. If there's none, we'll move ahead to number 4, and we have adoption of minutes of previous council meetings. 4A is the June 19th, 2024 regular meeting of council, and I need a motion for that tonight. Councillor Thompson, second by Councillor Lee. Question or comment on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Contrary, and that's passed unanimously. Brings us to 4B, July 9th, the meeting of council on July the 9th. I'm looking for a motion to approve the minutes for the meeting of July the 9th, 2024, closed meeting of council as circulated to members of council. I need a motion for that. Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Thompson. Question or comment on that? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Contrary, and that's passed unanimously. 4C, July 10th, 2024. No, that one didn't happen, did it? The public hearing of so we're going to move on. That meeting did not happen. So then we're going to move on to number...
Worship, so that would be still called into the minutes, even though there was none. Just should signify that the meeting actually...
Right, so on the agenda was 4C. It was public hearing of objections to the public... I guess it was supposed to happen July 10th. Anyway, that meeting did not happen, and it's going to be rescheduled tonight during the meeting.
So there should be some minutes in the package there too, just to show that the meeting happened, but no quorum.
Right, exactly.
So we just need a motion to accept that.
Accept the minutes. Okay. I guess we do. Since the meeting didn't happen, we still have minutes. So I need a motion to approve that. Councillor Hatt, and second by Councillor Thompson. Question or comment? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. And that's passed unanimously. 5 is business arising out of minutes. There is none tonight. Delegations, there's none. 7 is department reports. And we'll go to the general government report and CAO Jason Gaudette.
Thank you, Your Worship. The general government report for the month of June 2024, so it's employees and personnel. Second meeting with union on new contract negotiations to be held in July. Housing and development, all housing projects still pending or in progress. No new updates, unfortunately. Though it's recent news. I did talk to one developer that is putting 2 properties in St. George sort of back on activity So you should start to see him come back around. So it's good news. Parks and Rec, repairs complete on the baseball bench shelters in St. George, quoting a possible dock project for the lower basin in St. George. Swim buoys at Canal, I believe they were installed. However, I confirmed they are not installed. So we'll get those done. Yeah, albeit later than previous years for sure. Requoting municipal insurance with a new provider in New Brunswick. It's Canoe Group, and previous estimates provided little or no savings. However, some of the very early quotations that we're getting from Canoe show some significant savings. So we're going to continue on with the quotations and hopefully bring that back before council. Water for Blacks Harbor, waiting installation of the SCADA systems for the 2 meters in Blacks Harbor. Engineering company currently active, working on the IBA water planning project for Blacks Harbor as well. As far as water for St. George, working on some turbidity issues with well number 6 and possibly adding a filter to the well. We're having some turbidity issues with that well, that's even though it's one of our newer wells. IBA projects ongoing for the new well development and new lagoon studies. Awaiting service work on the water tower in St. George. Working with industry on options for keeping the water tower in service during that work. Roads, crosswalk lining is mostly completed in St. George and Blacks Harbor. I believe there's like 6 lined areas that need to be completed here in St. George. Riverview Avenue paving is scheduled for 3rd week of July, is actually completed today. On agenda for 2024 is resurfacing of the Arena Street, Blacks Harbor, and Manor Road in St. George. However, we're also quoting Granite Street and Hospital Street, as well as Carlton Extension there as well. YMCA, Dylan is doing their preliminary study on childcare building. That's underway. YMCA using Macadavic for that last week of August for their day camps here. EMO, residents are advised that the municipality will be setting up several spots this summer to have residents set up on the Voyant alert system. Some continued cooperative work with other municipalities, St. Stephen and St. Andrews. We're ongoing with shared services such as economic development, garbage collection, and animal control. In garbage, putting together tenders for garbage collection. Contract will be 2 years, given the current study that's being looked at with the RSC. During this time, we're also looking at things such as it's kind of taken us down some other rabbit holes. I think I shared with council some of the subunit, the taxing subunits. This is all part of trying to build information on quoting out a new garbage collection for Eastern Charlotte. So Service Commission's been great as well with providing details on house counts. And so we're trying to build that up, that information there now. So hopefully that tender will go through next month. We'll at least get that out. So that's the general government report.
Great, thank you, Jason. Any questions on that report tonight? Oh, Councilor Dederakis.
Yeah, I have a question for our CEO, Your Worship. So, Jason, would you say that we're on track for the preliminary study to be completed by August?
Is this for Dylan?
Yeah.
I would say that I haven't seen any indication that they're delayed at this point. So, yeah, I can check with them tomorrow and see if they can give us a firm ETA now that we're here in mid-July. So. Okay,
great.
Yeah.
Great. And the second follow-up question is, a separate question is, I think last council we were supposed to approve of an EMO plan, but we tabled that because it wasn't distributed to all the councilors. Right. When are we going to be looking at that again?
That will come next month. So we had some formatting that we had to redo in that plan. There were some titles and positions that were not included with that one. So that one should be coming for August as well. I think that's on the agenda.
Great. Any other questions from council? If not, we'll move ahead to 7B, and this is the reports of the Southwest New Brunswick Service Commission, and we have Mr. Alex Henderson with us tonight.
Thank you, Your Worship. This past PRAC meeting, which was held in this room, PRAC approved 2 private access subdivisions. One was a 23-lot subdivision where the Hollows Golf Club is being redeveloped. And they also approved a 2-lot recreational subdivision, their water access at Lily Lake. PRAC also had an application that was subsequently rejected for a 15-lot private access off the Route 760, but the access was deemed not to have a access suitable for that intensity of development, so it was turned down. That night as well, PREC approved a similar to or compatible with variance for the Atlantic Builders Limited property in Penfield, and they subjected it to terms and conditions, given some of the feedback and some of the concerns about the development. But the conditions were to limit the size of the development footprint, to protect the environment, specifically issues around the aquifer, consideration for pedestrians and neighboring properties with buffers. As well, we provided some support to the CEO on a development file, and we are able to support the municipality for round 2 of the Housing Accelerator Fund application, should the municipality so choose. We're doing a bit of research on communities that were successful and looking how we could improve the applications for the region. In terms of development, there's been 43 building or development permits issued year to date, so that's 2.7 million, and that's 5 new permits in this report period. We've had 8 variants or terms and conditions processed year to date, and we've had 16 tentative subdivision plans approved. So that's actually significant. 40 new building lots have been added to Eastern Charlotte year to date. 12 zoning confirmation letters and 7 net new dwellings permitted year to date. In terms of enforcement, we have 59 open enforcement files that have not been closed, and 39 which have been closed due for compliance. So some of these enforcement files which have been open, they may require a final inspection, or there may be a number of reasons why they remain open, but we are continuing these files and monitoring and following up with people as necessary. So that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thanks.
I just had one concerning the food truck on the Blacks Harbor Road. Have they requested rezoning on that? Where does that stand?
So yeah, they would like to ask for rezoning, but what this kind of situation is a bit interesting. In the Community Planning Act has a very specific sort of scenario what can happen here. They were originally approved under a temporary authorization, which is ability for a developer to do something that's out of the ordinary for the bylaws, but allows some flexibility for an entrepreneur to do something. And it's for things that are truly temporary, so a movable truck, for example. When that year expires, they have to cease the use. They can't continue operating legally. They can become legal if the council is willing to entertain a rezoning application. So you have to make a resolution that council would be willing to consider that. And if you do that, then they can be authorized for an additional 1 year to allow the rezoning process to unfold with the public. So that's something which council could consider if you are willing to make that. Otherwise, it becomes an enforcement file and they will have to cease.
Any other questions of council? If not, thank you very much for coming in tonight. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Have a good night. That brings us next, council, to the 7C, and that is the fire report, and I'll call on Councillor McKay to give us that report tonight.
So the fire report is as is. Total fires, 10 to 19, is that right? Total rescue and resuscitation calls, 30 to 39. Total public hazard, 40 to 49. Total public service, 60 to 69. Am I doing the right one? Oh, I thought I just had to do.
Okay.
Okay, let's start this over. Okay, total fire, June 2024 is 5 versus 2023, 1. Total rescue and resuscitation, totals on 2024, 8 versus 1 on 2023. Total public hazards, 1 as compared, and 1 on 2023. Total public services, June 2024 is 5, June 2023 is 11. Total alarm, no fire, no malicious intent, June 2024, 3, June 2023, 9. Total alarm, no fire, no malicious intent, June 24, 6, 23, 0. And total Charlotte Fire Rescue, 28 on 2024 and 23, 2023.
Oh, thank you, Councilor McKay. And any questions or comments on that report, Councilor? No. I just wanted to say one thing. The fire department for Eastern Charlotte, the fire does an exceptional job. Our guy, this is not just a fire service. I have to remind people that they do a lot of the first calls that say ambulance in New Brunswick is on its way. Our guys are trained for medical and help people out. They can help maybe get a cat out of a tree. They can do many things. It's not just fires. If somebody is caught on the river, we have a rescue boat, and they can go up the river and help people out. So our guys do many things. Plus, they're involved with the community, trying to raise money for the club and be part of the community and parts of parades as well. So, and people have to remember, I say 99% of the fire department is volunteer. So I have to thank our volunteers all the time, because what they do is really a good thing for our community. If there's no other questions or comments, we'll move on to Public Works Report and Councilor McQuarrie. Okay, Councilor McQuarrie, you're next. And did I hear right that a certain person in your family deserves a medal, or you have an anniversary this weekend? 50 years this year, I hear. Congratulations on you and Debbie, and that's a definitely a good number. 50 years. I don't know how she did it, but
there you go. And turbidity meters and service and training has been completed with the staff from APS. Waiting on a SCADA now to be installed. They started moving equipment down to the lagoon slowly. They're getting things going on down there. St. George, they finished the asphalt in Riverview today. That's all done. The Works Department was out when we had the memorial service out there, and they come out and put up the tent and took it back down again, and they did a great job, and appreciate that. Both Works Departments that were involved in that. What else? They're doing their usual water tests, and everything seems to be okay so far, so that's it.
Great. Thank you, Councilor McQuarrie. Any questions or comments on the report? If not, we'll move ahead to what's next? 7E, Parks and Recreation Park. Councilor Hatt.
Thanks, Your Worship. So this is for the month of June, prepared by Drew Dugan, Parks and Rec Foreman. The arena repaired broken boards. Some of the puck board ads that are around the ice have been removed for non-payment, allowing free slots to open up for anybody that's interested in getting an ad down there. So they did some painting on the bleachers, the bathrooms, the dehumidifiers installed by Simcoe. Wiring is complete. Once again, still waiting for the ductwork to be done. I believe it's scheduled to be done by the end of July, correct, CAO? Fire Marshal made some suggestions. They're working on that and around and doing some housekeeping of, around the bleachers underneath. I think there's probably 30 years. Probably Wayne could speak more than I could how many years of stuff's been stashed under there, but anyway, slowly cleaning it out of there. So once again, some more fire extinguishers along with the Fire Marshal's suggestion. That'll be an ongoing process. They're slowly checking off that list. Sprinklers, alarm systems, and inspections are scheduled. One of the big highlights, obviously we know, that happened down at the arena was the Grand March ceremony at the arena. It was a huge success. We're very proud to be part of that for Grad Week again, and hopefully the tradition continues down there. And we're happy to help out with whatever we can do and make a great night. So the new heat pump has been installed in the lobby. Anybody's been at the rink over the last 30 years know that noisy heater that's when you walk in through the door, you hear it vibrating. It's no longer going to be running. There'll be a heat pump there now.
Awesome.
So that'll be a change. So Drew's noted that. Chem Aqua, they've been in and did a deep clean and disinfection of our cooling tower and serviced their equipment. Canal Beach, the new kitchen taps were installed in the canteen, new swings installed, mowing and garbage removed daily. The stone stairwell had been washed out, and I understand that's been tackled a couple times now, so I believe Windsor's concrete company went in and poured some concrete there to try to get it shored up, so that's been modified. I'd like to say thank you to Windsor too for that. New dispensers for toilet paper, hand towel, because the ones all got broke, as we know, during the vandalism. I reported it in last month's thing. The Moby ramp has been installed for the summer. The volleyball net's been hung. Debris constantly being raked. The swim buoys are not installed yet, but as soon as we get a break in the guys' schedule, we'll get them installed. Playgrounds was inspected. The one that was broke out here was removed from service. We reported on. A new one's been ordered for the St. George Macadavid Center playground. Ball fields every day, mowing, trimming, line work. And the equipments and dugouts and blacks get a fresh coat of paint because they're not fenced in. They're actually still plywood and wood. So basketball courts lining up for the start of the fence removal. New nets to be installed as soon as the fence can be removed to install the new post. Splash pad, filters checked and cleaned regularly. Picnic tables have been modified to accommodate umbrellas, and mowing and trimming as needed.
Great. Thank you, Councillor Hatt. I appreciate that. Any questions on that report? If not, I'm going to go to committee reports, and I'll go back to Councillor Hatt again.
So,
I went too fast, didn't I?
yeah. So I'll wait for this for my councillor comments at the end, if you don't mind.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Whatever works for you. Yep. So there's nothing else. Anybody else want to make a report? If not, Councillor Ted, you're next.
I just wanted to follow up on what our CAO had reported with negotiation with QP. We did have a meeting with them last week regarding negotiations, and negotiations are ongoing.
Great. Thank you, Councillor Ted. I appreciate that. That brings us to 8, which is the financial statement. I'll need a motion from council to accept the financial report for June 2024. I need a motion for that, Councillor Lee, seconded by Councillor Tidd. Question or comment on that? Councillor Dederakis, you're first.
I misplaced the spot, but there was a section, I forgot what page it is, what line it's under. It's for the Day Adventure Center. As we know, most of the buildings have been sold, but we're allocating money in that direction for repairs and maintenance. So where did that money go to?
We still have regular, even just our annual upkeep costs that are still there, being associated with any type of groundwork that we have to do. That's still there. So we still have money that we would use for filling back in some of the footprints of the buildings.
Okay.
That's the main task for this year until we decide what we're going to do long term.
Yeah, thank you.
If there's no other questions or comments, we move, take a vote on that. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Contrary, and that's passed unanimously. That brings us to old business, and this brings us to 9A, and I'm going to get Jason to speak on this. This is the bylaw number EC-12, the building bylaw, third and final reading by title only. Jason would like to speak on this first.
Thank you, Your Worship. So this is bylaw EC-1, 2, or 12, bylaw respecting the building and construction for Eastern Charlotte, and this would be a third and final reading for enactment.
That was short and sweet.
I can add a little bit with
this.
This one here is,
I know I get some questions here in the audience.
Yeah, this bylaw was one that we did have a public hearing on. There was some feedback that came from that. I believe under new business we have a policy that's accompanying this bylaw
yes.
In regards to when we can do exemptions on any type of fees, setting fees out as well. So we did listen to the input from residents and put that into the actual policy. So so the bylaw is something that is a requirement that we have to have with this building bylaw, and so this would be the third reading, and I think the policy itself is given us everything that we've looked for with the recommendations.
Right. And I'll just say this, that policy, it falls under new business tonight, and because I know it probably makes more sense to pass the policy first, but because of the way the agenda is set up, the policy has to come second, and but I just want to explain to the audience, there is a separate policy going to be hopefully be passed here tonight by council that goes along with this. Okay, at this point, I need a motion for a motion for council to accept the third and final reading by title only of bylaw EC-12, the building bylaw. I need a motion for that. Councillor Tidd, seconded by Councillor Hatt. Question or comment? All those in favor of a third and final reading of bylaw EC-12, building bylaws, signify by saying aye. Contrary, and that's passed unanimously. Oh, sorry, Councillor. Okay, I got to write this down. Councillor Lee is a nay, and Councillor McKay is a nay. Okay, we're right there. Oh, and Deputy Mayor, okay. Okay, probably the easiest way to do this, because I didn't realize this is going to go that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask each councillor to give me their vote. Councillor Dedorakis, was it yay or nay? Nay, okay, a nay, okay, good. Councillor Adam Hatt, yay. Deputy Mayor is a nay, if I'm correct. Councillor Lee is a nay. Councillor McQuarrie, nay. Councillor McKay is a nay. Councillor Thompson, nay. Councillor Tidd, yay. Okay, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 6 votes against 2. That motion is defeated tonight, and we move on. So, okay, now we have 9B tonight. This is the bylaw Z.2.4, amending the rural plan for the village of Black Harbor to schedule a public hearing of objections. That's the one that we didn't have a quorum for the last time, so now we have to set up a different night for that. Now, staff has given us 3 choices to be able to get the building in Black Harbor: August 14th, August 15th, or August 20th. I'll entertain a motion for that at this point. Go. Somebody pick one night. None. Councillor Lee. And,
I move to schedule a public hearing. This is 9B. I move to schedule a public hearing of objections to bylaws number C-24, amending the rural planning for the village of Black Harbor on Wednesday, August the 14th at 6:30 p.m. at Stella Maris, I believe.
Great, excellent. Okay, so Councillor Lee has made a motion to schedule a public hearing of objections to bylaw Z.2.4, amending the rural plan for the village of Black Harbor on Wednesday, August the 14th at the Stella Maris Hall at 6:30 next month. I need a seconder for that. Deputy Mayor. Question or comment on that motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, and that's passed unanimously. So August the 14th, guys. Oh, sorry, Councillor Hatt, sorry. Oh, are you? Okay, no, okay. So that's a contrary. No? That motion is carried and so noted for the vote. Okay. So everybody put that on their calendar tonight if they can, August the 14th. And that moves us to 9C. This is the other bylaw, which they go hand in hand. Bylaw Z.2.5, and it's the same thing to pick a night when we can have an open night for the public, and that is to schedule a public hearing of objections to bylaw Z.2.5, amending the rural plan for the village of Black Harbor. I need a motion for that. Yeah, Councillor McKay.
I move to schedule a public hearing of objections to bylaw Z25 amending the rural plan for the village of Blacks Harbor. I say Wednesday, August 14th.
Yeah.
But should we put it at 7 PM? If the other one's at 6:30, 7 PM at the Stonemirrors.
Great. Okay, now we have a motion on the floor by Councilor McKay to schedule a public hearing of objections to bylaw Z.2.5, amending the rural plan for the village of Blacks Harbor for Wednesday, August 14th, 7 PM at Stella Maris Hall in Blacks Harbor. I need a seconder for that. And Councilor Lee. Question or comment on the motion?
Question.
Councilor Hatt, yeah.
Asking if there's any way that the meeting can be moved to Thursday, August the 15th.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor for that. Are you, you want to change it? Do you want to
No,
make a?
that's fine.
No,
Let her
okay.
go.
You, okay.
I'll vote against it.
Okay, no, that's good. Any other questions or comments on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Contrary is Councilor Hatt. And that's it. And that motion is carried. August 14th at 7 PM. That brings us to new business tonight. And this is the policy. I guess we can't really vote on the policy. You know, good, thank you, Chris, because we didn't have the third reading of the, so there's no bylaw to, doesn't exist. That's correct. So that moves on to 10B, the municipal roads. 10B1 is the Birch Lane, and I'm going to have our CAO give us a little information on this.
Thank you, Your Worship. So these would be municipal roads that would be with council's motion and approval made for public use. As of right now, these three roadways, they are used for public roadways, but looking back in the history of both the town of St. George or the village of Blacks Harbor, we don't see that there's any motion to adopt these as public rights of way. So we're bringing this before council so that we can grant those and move forward. There's some of these properties that are pending some subdivisions, and certainly with ourselves, we have a subdivision of our property with the Mill Street, and so each one of these would require a motion to accept them as public use.
Great, thank you. So at this point, I'll entertain a motion for the street of Birch Lane. I need a motion for that so we can move ahead. Councilor Thompson?
Whereas the roadway known as Birch Lane exists on a separate parcel of land, PID 15189-251, and whereas the roadway is accessible to public works, maintenance, and service, be it resolved that council accept the ownership and responsibility of Birch Lane in the community of St. George, receiving winter road maintenance and designated speed limit sign at 30 kilometers.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor for Birch Lane. I need a seconder for that. Councilor Dedirakis? Question or comment on this motion? All those in favor of accepting Birch Lane signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary? And that's passed unanimously. That moves us to 10B II, which is the Mill Street in Blacks Harbor. Same thing that Jason was talking about. I will now entertain a motion for Mill Street in Blacks Harbor. Councilor Hatt, maybe?
Where the roadway known as Mill Street exists on a separate parcel of land, PID 152-14760, and whereas the roadway is accessible to the public works, maintenance, and service, be it resolved that council accept the ownership and responsibility of Mill Street in the community of Blacks Harbor, receiving winter road maintenance and designated speed limit at 30 kilometers an hour.
Great. We have motion on the floor for Mill Street. I need a seconder for that. We got all kinds of. Councilor Lee, I saw first. Question or comment on this for Mill Street? All those in favor of accepting Mill Street signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary? That's passed unanimously. Now we're going to move to 10B III, which is the Mountain Court in Blacks Harbor. And I need a motion to enter for Mountain Court to be accepted tonight. Councilor McKay?
Whereas the roadway known as Mountain Court exists on a separate parcel of land, PID 152-13465, and whereas the roadway is accessible to public works maintenance and service, be it resolved that council accept the ownership and responsibility of Mill Street in the community of Blacks Harbor, receiving winter road maintenance, and designate its speed limit at 30 kilometers per hour.
Excellent. We have a motion on the floor. I need a seconder for the motion. Councillor Lee. Question or comment on Mountain Court? All those in favor of accepting Mountain Court signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, and that's passed unanimously. 10C is the hospitality levy at Granite Town Hotel Grant. The Granite Town Hotel Grant. I need a motion of council to. We need a motion to approve a grant to the Granite Town Hotel for the repair and/or replacement sites. Before we do that, I'm going to go to Jason to speak on this.
Thank you, Your Worship. So we've, the municipality's been approached by one of the grant or the levy contributors with the Granite Town Hotel. We have a hospitality tourism levy that is imposed on the hotel as well as the motel in St. George. That's a former Town of St. George bylaw. And they've requested to utilize the funds that they've raised with this levy for some of their own promotions. This fund is always was collected under promotions and tourism, so it seemed fit to certainly bring this to before council. And they've distributed their proposal on to replace their signage is what they're looking to do, not only on Main Street but also along the highway. So the signage would fit in for promotions, and it would benefit certainly one of those main tourism operators that would contribute to the levy. So all in all, the request of their grant was about $46,370, and it was a recommendation that I put forward with the council that it's $30,000 for the levy. We do have to take consideration that there are some other deductions that we've had with that levy, one being the Service Commission's annual cost of about $28,000 or so for its annual cost with the Service Commission, as well as there's some consulting fees that are in there. So looking at what they've contributed thus far, it would be we would give that portion of about $10,000, and then there's usually another $20,000 that we get in with the 24 levy. So it would then be earmarking the remainder of the 2024 levy that we've received from them to go back out to them, basically again equating to $30,000 towards their grant.
Great. So at this point, council, I need a motion to approve a grant to the Granite Town Hotel for the repair and/or replacement of signage. Councilor Dedirakis, would you like to make that motion?
So I move that council approve a grant to the Granite Town Hotel for the repair and/or replacement of signage in the amount of $30,000 to be funded by monies received through the St. George Tourism Accommodation Levy.
Great. We have a motion on the floor by Councilor Dedirakis. We need a seconder, Councilor McKay. Question or comment on the motion? Councilor Dedirakis.
Yeah, I guess I'll say, yeah. They're as we all know, the Granite Town Hotel, which is just next to us, it's the only hotel in Eastern Charlotte. And with the storm that happened back in, I think it was December, was it? January? It totally decimated all their signs. So this is the least that we can do to help, bring more tourists to come to our area and go to Granite Town Hotel to stay. Okay.
I guess just one more thing. I'm sure I clarified it in the precursor, but this is not tax revenue. This is not tax money. This is levy that's collected specifically by the Granite Town Hotel. It's not even utilizing levy funds from the other tourism operation in St. George. So this is strictly levy funds that are collected by the hotel. So no tax money.
Yep. Any other questions or comments on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Contrary? And that's passed unanimously. Okay. We'll move right along here. Oh, here's my favorite one, a fire truck. I like fire trucks. 10D, tender results on tender 20, the surplus fire truck we have sitting at the Municipal Hall. I'm going to go to Jason to speak on this.
Thank you, Your Worship. So this is the former, the old fire truck from Back Bay. It was a 1991 GMC. It was declared surplus by council June the 16th. So we did put this out at the end of June, closed middle of July. Sent this around to other fire departments as well. We had one submission that was from the Department of Local Government, Environmental Local Government via Dan McCabe. I believe this, I don't want to speak out of sorts, but I believe it's earmarked for going to West Isles or Deer Island. So, and there was a minimum bid of $8,500, and his submission is for $8,500. So, it'd be my recommendation to approve the transfer to local government.
So I'll entertain a motion from council for this to go to Deer Island for the price of $8,500. I need a motion for that. Councillor McCabe, would you like to do that? Since it's a fire truck.
Okay, yeah, I move that the fire truck go to Deer Island?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. I move that the Department of Environment and Local Government receive the fire truck
Yep.
for $8,500.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor for that fire truck to go for $8,500. I need a seconder for that. Councillor Thompson, question or comment on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Contrary? And that's passed unanimously. Good. That brings us to number 12 tonight. This is the public presentation appearances. Please note under bylaw EC-01, section 7.1, members of the public shall be entitled to address the council for 5 minutes with no debate from council on matters of municipal jurisdiction. So the microphone's right there. Anybody like to come forward? Going once, going twice. You got me going. Going three. We have one person go. There we go. Yeah. All it needs is a name for the record and your address.
915 Mass Green Road.
Actually, thanks for coming tonight.
So I'm actually just looking to see what is the levy that the hotel charges or that we have to charge. 2.75%? Okay. So I'm just going to let you know, like Airbnb, there's a website called HipCamp, which allows people to set up non-glamorous camps or roughing it camps. And here in Caithness, we have a HipCamp that for the year 2023 was rated #1 in the province of New Brunswick through their website, and #2 for all of Canada out of 20-some thousand camps. And the name of that campground is called mouthofthemacadavic.com. You can find it there.
Yes.
So
I just learned something tonight.
there
You
yeah.
go.
So it's a new business. It's in the area. So
Absolutely.
Yep.
Awesome.
Okay. Thanks.
Great. Thank you for coming in tonight. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a nice hot night tonight. That's why we're all kind of dressed kind of casual here tonight. So when you look back on it, it's hotter than blue blazes out here in Eastern Charlotte tonight. So it's great to have an audience here tonight. I'll just keep talking until somebody gets up. So is there anybody else who'd like to get up, or I can talk about the weather? No complaints. No complaints. Oh, that's awesome. Council is saying, hurry up, John, move along. Okay. That brings us to statements by members of council. I'll go first on that one. It's like I just have a couple items tonight. I had one ready. Just before this meeting started tonight, I attended the St. George and Area Food Bank Annual Garden Gala here in St. George, and let me tell you something. They have beautiful gardens at the food bank area, and those foods that they're growing there goes back into the community. So we are very fortunate to have the food bank here in St. George. They help out so many people and so many families in the area. We're very blessed to have that organization here in Eastern Charlotte. The Gary Tidd Memorial Barbecue in Blacks Harbor on Canada Day, where Gary was a pillar of this community for many years. I want to take this opportunity tonight to personally thank Councillor Tidd on a hugely successful event. I know you worked hard and planned this event through every detail, and it paid off. I know that everybody that attended were very appreciative of this truly family event. Councillor Tidd Darrell, I know you are following in your dad's footsteps and giving back to your community, which you do every day serving on this council. This was another way for you and your family to give back to the community, and that you and your father always called home. And I thank you and I commend you on a job well done. Thank you, Councillor Tidd. Big round of applause for Councillor Tidd. Eastern Charlotte is so fortunate tonight to have the Eastern Charlotte Community Kitchen continually putting on delicious dinners. I had the opportunity to talk with many here this past Monday having dinner, and it's not just the food what people come for. It's the social time. It's time for them to get out of their house, to come out and meet other people. And I want to thank the Eastern Charlotte Community Kitchen for making everybody's day and week so much brighter. It makes my heart feel so good to see such community spirit, and it doesn't go unnoticed. So thank you again to them. Tonight, I'd like to send out our condolences to Eastern Charlotte's District Fire Chief John Stevens and his entire family on the passing of his mother, Betty Stevens of Canal. And I've already mentioned Councilor McClory's anniversary coming up this weekend. I'll say it again. Congratulations on 50 years, Councilor McClory. I'm going to mix this up tonight. I'm going to go to Councilor McKay first. There you go. Keep you on your toes.
Okay, so I just want to say my reasons for voting no on the bylaw. So the way I see it, there is way too much governmental overreach on all levels. And when I took this position, or when I was voted and elected for this position, I said I work for the people. I don't work for the government. I serve you. And we are a rural community, and people in a rural community should be able to change a front step on their home and make it bigger, or whatever, put up a building. And I get that there's rules and there's laws for safety, and I realize that the municipality needs to make money. However, people need to live as well, and they need to be able to do on their property what it's zoned for, and be able to make changes to their homes without having inspectors constantly come into their home, stop and work, and whatever. So that is my reason for voting no on this bylaw.
Councillor Tidd, you're next.
I guess I just had one thing. Where we don't currently have a building bylaw, does this not hold up any building projects that, for incentives? 2 are currently underway in Blacks Harbor and 1 in St. George. That's all I'll comment.
Good. Councillor Lee.
Just wondering on 9B, I made the motion for the rural plan, the village of Blacks Harbor. If I couldn't amend that so Councillor Hatt could attend, I didn't know you couldn't make the 14th. Can we do that? What date's good for you?
The Thursday works, Councillor Lee. I just can't make that Wednesday.
Yeah, can I amend that?
Okay, let me just see. I just got to go back. Okay, I just got to find the extra spot here in the it's back before the streets, was that? Back before the streets. Okay, so okay, Councilor Lee, you made that motion, right?
I did, yes.
And seconder was Deputy Mayor, right? If it's all right with the Deputy Mayor on this being the seconder on that, okay? Okay. What I'll do is I'll entertain a motion then for the Thursday, August 15th then. Okay? So you're making that motion, Councilor Lee?
Yes, I move to schedule a public hearing of objections, or amend the previous motion to schedule a public hearing of the objections of bylaw Z24, amending the rural plan for the village of Blacks Harbor to Thursday, August the 15th at 6:30 at Stellamere's.
Stellamere's, okay. And the seconder for that would be Deputy Mayor again. Question or comment on the motion? Councilor Hatt.
Thank you, Councillor Lee.
Oh, no problem.
Question or comment? I see a lot of questions down there, no?
Does that,
Apply to the next one?
Yeah.
See?
We have to go through the procedure again as
Okay.
well. So, but we have to take a vote on this before we move ahead. So, all those in favor of that motion, signify, Councilor Dederakis, you had I didn't, okay. Yeah, Council.
I'm in favor.
Okay, you guys, okay. I'll start again. All those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Contrary, and that's passed unanimously. Councilor Lee, you have the floor. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, Councilor McKay.
Yeah.
So, Councilor McKay, would you be interested in changing the date of that?
Okay.
You're the one who made the motion on 9C.
Okay, I move to amend the reschedule the public hearing of objections to bylaw Z25, amending the rural plan for the village of Blacks Harbor
Okay.
to Thursday.
I'm just going to stop you just for one
Okay.
second. Councilor Lee, do you agree? You were the seconder for that. Do you agree with that? Okay.
Okay.
You got the floor. Yeah.
So to Thursday, August 15th, 6:30 p.m. or 7 p.m. at the Stella Maris
On August
in
15th.
Blacks Harbor.
Great. I need a seconder for that, Councilor Lee. Good. Question or comment on the motion? Rod, you're falling asleep on us. No questions. Councilor Hatt, you're next. Thank you. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Contrary, and that's passed unanimously. That goes to Councilor Lee. Do you have anything else tonight? And Councilor McQuarrie? No? I'm going to go over to my left. Councilor Dederakis, you're next. Your comments?
Really? Okay, nice. Sure.
Yeah.
So I first want to give a special thank you for St. George Public's work staff. They do work tirelessly in Ward 3, in a portion of Terry's ward, and Ward 2, but I'm not sure if everyone realizes this, but they actually work in in a lot of other, and most other wards in Eastern Charlotte. They're a small team, but they're mighty. The second thing I want to say is, I just want to throw this out there. At our next council meeting, I'm going to make a motion for Eastern Charlotte to hire a full-time clerk. I feel like post-amalgamation, we're a larger entity now, and what could have been easily done by one person, I don't think is reasonable anymore. I believe that our CAO and clerk is overloaded with work, and to have a clerk acting as the conduit between council and our CAO is in the benefit of everyone. And we need improved communication so we can relay this to you. Other close-by communities like St. Andrews has this role filled with a dedicated employee, and I think we need to catch up. I'm bringing this to council's attention now so that everyone has adequate time to consider this, or alternatively, be able to explain to me why we don't need one. I don't like to play broken telephone with anyone, so communication needs to improve in order to offer better governance. Thank you.
That's probably something that probably should go to the Personnel Committee probably first, and then that would probably go to the Personnel Committee first, and then come back with suggestions for council to make it less messier. Councilor Hatt.
All right. So July's notes. I'll go over them. I'm going to combine mine into all one blurb, so I don't have to speak twice, if you don't mind, Your Worship.
Take your time.
So Canada Day, Eastern Charlotte was a huge success. The municipality sponsored Canada Day breakfast that was here in this building. The Eastern Charlotte Community Kitchen prepared. Unfortunately, I was unable to attend due to work commitments, but my fellow councillors were here and graciously served 355 people with the help of that community kitchen making the meal. Great job, and thank you to everyone who made this happen, and I apologize for not being able to make it again. I would also like to say thank you to Councillor Tidd and his family for not only honoring their dad, but giving back to the community for a fun afternoon in Blacks Harbor on Canada Day. We had only planned for a cake cutting and a small performance with a performer down there, but thanks to the Tidd family for sponsoring a barbecue, collecting door prizes. It was a nice afternoon and a nice little event in the harbor. Councillor Tidd, thank you. The summer concert series has kicked off in 2024. It started on July the 4th, and the series will continue Thursday evenings right here in this building from 7 to 9, and they will continue until August 29th. And a full list of performers can be found on the website or Eastern Charlotte's Facebook page or Parks and Rec page. I'm not sure exactly which one the concert series is on, so go check both out. The fence for the basketball courts here at McAdavid has been removed in preparation for a long anticipation of the new nets. The two ends needed to be removed for it. So two end walls would have been completely tore down, leaving two sides up. So after this long drawn out session of nets being installed out here, finally, CAO, they'll be installed and new posts put in very quickly. Correct?
This week.
Okay. So they'll be installed and should be up new. As you know, most of the young gentlemen and ladies that are here playing in the evenings will be greatly appreciated. And we've also reached out to Fundy Minor Basketball on the net placement to make sure that they're right the first time, so we don't have to do this twice. And for the right heights. The museum in Blacks Harbor is open for the 2024 season. They're open daily from 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. with the exception of Mondays when the museum is closed. So if you haven't been down there, please go down. It's a beautiful renovated building and lots of artifacts from history of the area. And eventually I would hope that we will continue to move that into something of Eastern Charlotte for a museum, to be honest. So. Canal Beach Canteen is now serving food. I've seen it on the Facebook page over the last couple days. I see deep fried Oreos there. Myself, not on keto right now. I am going to try them over the weekend. The list of menu items can be found on their Facebook page at Canal Beach Canteen. By no means am I wishing for summer to be away, as we know of today's temperatures, but we are at the end of the planning of Fog Festival, which is the August 30th to September 1st. If you are thinking of hosting or participating in that festival, can you please reach out to the municipal office by July 18th? And yes, I know this is tomorrow. I've read this a couple times in the last 2 months, but our brochures are going out Friday for print, right? Chris? Okay. So, Andrew Chase, former baseball Jays player, is coming back to Eastern Charlotte. This time, he's coming to Thompson's Field, the ball field that's right out here. July 22nd to 25th for baseball development camp. So if you're a ball fan, Blue Jays fan, even if you're a Red Sox fan, which I won't hold that against you, please come out and join. And if you want more information, the email caseperformance@gmail.com. Or if you'd like, you can send a message to the municipal office and they'll connect you with the registration. Something totally different. Roller disco is coming to the Blacks Harbor Connors Recreation Complex, Patrick Connors, sorry, on Saturday, July 27th from 6 to 10 p.m. I would like to thank Michelle Dugan and the Fog City Rollers team for making this happen. The event is on the Parks and Rec Facebook page. So if you're not seeing the theme here, is you got to go to that page because everything's posted there.
Do they have their own, the rollerblades? Can you rent them there? Or do you have to have your own? Because I don't have mine anymore, but.
What do you mean? They wouldn't fit you still? I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that.
Have to find.
But if you reach out to the Parks and Rec page,
I'm gonna have to make a quick run to Canadian Tire. And
yes. Well, if nothing else, you come in your sneakers. It'll be a good time. Most Wanted Ball Hockey Academy is coming to the arena for a mini camp on Saturday, August 24th. Visit the event on Eastern Charlotte Parks and Rec's page, Facebook page again for more information and to register. Tomorrow is the start of the Summer Fest. If you haven't seen the brochures yet, there's the brochures. There's some on the back table, and it's also on both Facebook pages. And there's actually a nice little QR code this year where you can scan with your phone and have the whole agenda there. So if you haven't seen it, I suggest picking one up or swing by the Eastern Charlotte office and get a digital copy if you would like. There'd be lots there. There's something to do for everyone, from food, music, bouncy houses, soapbox derby, which is one of my favorites, and the fireworks, just to name a few. There's something for every person or anybody's family that would like to go out and do from golf to community party, beach party, barbecues. Anyway, I won't, there's a car show. I know I'm probably missing a whole bunch of other things here, but get the flyer or look on our Facebook page, and that'll be all on there. I also want to say thank you to the Public Works from St. George and Blacks Harbor. Yesterday I went and walked the two fields, as I do monthly, and I want to tell you the two fields are world class. You go to Blacks Harbor, you could easily set a ball on that field anywhere and it wouldn't roll at all in the infield, which is great. You go to St. George out here, hard packed, fast balls, hit the ground and go. So that is well done, and I'm very proud of that. We are continuing to do more work in this area, and as you drive around Eastern Charlotte, we're not just one spot. We're not just St. George, we're not just Blacks Harbor, we're Eastern Charlotte. So when you drive around, there's parks, there's beaches, arenas, ball fields, everywhere around. Tennis courts, pickleball courts. I think there's 22 items when I looked the other night. And every one of them take maintenance. And without a dedicated crew, and I thank our CAO, Jason Gadet, also, we wouldn't have what we have today. And if you drive around and you see something that you think should be changed, or you don't like that's being done, please reach out. We only know what to fix and what to make right if we don't understand. So I understand there's some conflict over the fence being took down at the basketball court out here. But for safety issues, can you imagine leaving two sides up while we have two post hole diggers in there drilling out and putting posts in of new nets? Whether the fencing goes back up permanently or not, that'll be up to council's decision. I know we've been asked to put benches down both sides and put billiards in and leave it open. That'll be council's decision. But for now, upgrades must be continuing. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Councilor Hatt. I really appreciate that, and that's a good report. Every month you astound me with all the information that you have. I hope people took notes of some of that stuff, because there's a lot of things going on in Eastern Charlotte. And I like what you said, Councilor Hatt, about all the parks and the swimming areas and the arena. These things belong to all the people of Eastern Charlotte, and so it doesn't matter where you live. It could be Blacks Harbor, Beaver Harbor, Back Bay, Bonnie River. You're very welcome to, because all the taxpayers help pay for these. So I want to make sure that everybody feels ownership of all these things. It belongs to the people of Eastern Charlotte. So I'm glad you got that out there. And just another thing too, on Summerfest this weekend, while you were talking, I looked up the weather report. You're looking good for the weekend. Sun all weekend long. I'm going to go to Councilor Thompson at this point.
I'd like to have a motion to amend the agenda. I'd like to have a motion to amend the agenda.
To amend the agenda as to what?
The surplus fire money.
Oh, you want to add, okay, you want to add something to the agenda is what you
Yes.
want to do, okay. So you want to add the surplus?
The money from the sale of the 653 generator, the Ford rescue van, the F700 fire truck, and the surplus fire truck tonight.
I just don't understand the motion. Okay, well, I need a seconder for this, okay? I'm gonna get you to say the motion again, because I'm still not getting it.
With the surplus fire money from
Okay,
the...
that was the $8,500, is that correct? Is that what
Yes,
you-
but
that's okay.
there's other money in with that.
Okay.
too. The sale of the 653 GM generator, the
Okay.
Ford rescue van, and the F700 truck,
Okay,
and tonight's truck.
and you want to do what with the money?
I'd like to put in drafting stations in Cripps Brook, Sealy's Cove Road, Second Falls, McGee's Brook, Blackman's Brook, and the Back Bay Wharf.
Okay, so the total amount was how much, the dollar value? I need a motion to be specific on the dollar amount.
It's around $12,000.
All right, so $12,000. That's what we'll do for the motion? Okay, I'm going to go to Chris first. I want to make sure he gets the motion correct first before we move ahead.
Stations, yes.
Yeah.
McGee's Brook, Blackman's Brook. Yes. Yes. Back Bay Wharf. Yes.
You had mentioned Second Falls.
Yes.
Did you get that one too, Chris?
Second Falls is on the list.
It's not a specific location?
Below the falls is where they've had one before.
Was Sealy's Cove correct as well?
Yes. There is one there now, and it is in good shape.
Sealy's Cove, Second Falls, McGee's Brook, Blackman's Brook, and Back Bay Wharf.
Yes.
Okay, so at this point, before we move ahead, I'm gonna make sure we do this correctly. We have to have a motion to add this to the agenda because it's not on the agenda tonight. So what I need is a motion, which is Councillor Thompson. I need a seconder for that. Councillor Lee. Question or comment to add this item to the agenda tonight? All those in favor?
I just have a comment. Shouldn't this go to the committee, fire committee first?
I'm going to quickly answer that. It should go. Actually, it should go to two committees. It should go to the finance and fire. In my book, that's where it should go. Usually, things shouldn't be passed at council until all committees have a look at and decide where it goes. But I'm not going to overrule council.
Workshop.
Yes, Councillor Hatt.
Maybe it'd be worth tabling it for the month till we get our ducks in a row and find out.
Okay. Okay. So what we got to do first, because I have to make sure we do this correctly. We have a motion on the floor by Councillor Thompson and second by Councillor Lee to add this to the agenda tonight. All those in favor of adding this to the agenda tonight signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary. Okay. 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 That motion has been carried. That means it's added to the agenda tonight. So now we have the motion by and Chris. I'll have to get you to read the motion out loud because I want to make sure the council is.
Where are you putting the agenda item?
Yeah, right where we are, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you can read the motion, could you read the motion back? You're my stenographer here. You just got a new job.
So the motion is to use the funds raised from the surplus fire items, which were the three items you mentioned, the tank and the trucks, to put drafting stations in Sealy's Cove, Second Falls, McGee's Brook, Blackman's Brook, Back Bay Wharf for a cost of $12,000.
Okay. Okay. So I don't think I have a seconder for that motion, so I need a seconder for that motion. Yeah, we had to move it. It was Councillor Thompson. Okay. No, okay, Councillor Thompson, that was your motion, correct? Yes. Okay. Seconder. Okay, Deputy Mayor. I'm going to have to grab a chart here. You're making this hard for me tonight. Okay. Question or comment on the motion? Councillor Hatt, you're first.
Question, I would ask that we table this to next month's meeting.
Great. Okay, that's a motion?
Can I comment?
Okay, I have to ask Councillor Hatt first. Is that a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion that we table this.
I need a seconder for that motion. Councillor Tidd. Okay, now we're on to tabling it, and we have a motion and a seconder. Councillor Thompson, you can go ahead and comment.
With this $12,000, it was unbudgeted money. It was not being spent anywhere. It's a good chance to get these areas built up. With these drafting stations, we can pump water out of the brook or out of the bay faster than what we can return to the municipal water source and get it. It saves time, valuable time, and money, and wear and tear on our trucks. Thank you.
I just have a question. I'm not getting into debate because that's not my position. Was there something run by the fire chief on that too? Did he agree with this, or because the fire chief runs the fire?
I have asked our CAO in the past.
So the answer is no.
It has not gone past the CAO.
Pardon me?
It has not gone past the CAO.
No, I just want to make it clear so that way Councilman
Right.
understands it. Okay. Question or comment? Councillor Ted, you're next.
Again, my comment would be, it would be tabled and go to committees first, as per proper procedure.
This is the motion to table. We're not on the motion. We're not on the motion with Councillor Thompson yet. This is the motion to table. Try to stay with us on this. Any question or comment on tabling it? Councillor Dederakis, you're next.
Just for clarity, so if I understand, the items that Councillor Thompson listed, which I think are 3 items, correct? 3 items, it's unbudgeted surplus. So they would be going back into the fire committee, sorry, not the fire committee, excuse me, in the fire department. You're investing in, you're still investing in an area related to fire. But can I ask our CEO a question? May I?
Sure.
When things like this come up, is it required that they go to committees first, or can we make a motion to accept it?
So it wouldn't be declared surplus money. It is unbudgeted money, but at the end of the year, any additional monies that we have over would be then declared surplus. So mid-year, there could be things within the fire department that are additional new cost. So that money would stay within that department, within that account. So it was gained through a sale of fire equipment, fire apparatus. If, for example, a fire truck had extensive repairs that have to be done to it, additional monies that would be used for that type of thing. So we're not really at a point where we know we have additional monies within the fire service. I mean, we're only in July, so it'd be more or less something that we would have to look at towards the end of the year, or to allocate. If there are additional funds in there for something like a project like this. So at this point, we really don't know if the fire service itself is even in a red or a black at this point. We're still halfway through the year.
But in short, like what you just said, is that we can vote in favor for this. Is that what, in short, what you're saying? Or, yeah. But is your recommendation that we wait?
I mean,
it seems that it might be it's a pressing thing. If I understood Councillor Thompson,
we can. I mean, certainly my recommendation is to wait. We don't know really the situation financially of the fire service at this point. And if we get towards the month of November, then we can have a motion to allocate funds that hopefully at that point are, the 12,000 is still sitting there, and we haven't had to dip into that with the fire service. Allocate that to be pulled into a reserve for utilizing next year for a project of what Councillor Thompson's looking to do. So at that point, I would say that's when you'd want to be doing that. There's still a lot of months left of the year. I mean, heaven forbid that something drastic happens where we have these additional funds that are sitting there for a variety of reasons. But so yeah, it's certainly at this point. I mean, even operationally, I can't really speak that. That's more of a fire chief question of, where they would be needed, or, what type of drafting would be, even with quotations and stuff. So I'm not sure.
Well, I will speak on the procedure. Proper procedure of any council is to go through committee. That's why we have committees. To put motions on the table here at the council meeting is not it's not the proper way of doing things. Everything should be vetted through committees, and the committees will ask questions to the department heads, no matter whatever department it falls under. This falls under 2 categories. It falls under fire, and it falls under finance. This is something that most councillors have not seen tonight, and to make a quick decision, that's up to councillors if they want to do it, but it's definitely not the proper procedure, for sure. But any other questions on the tabling?
That's the only reason why I'm asking to table for 30 days.
So it can go through the proper committees. Okay. Question or comment on the tabling? All those in favor of tabling? Now, what I'm going to do first, here's where I'm going to do this. Councillor Dederakis, how do you, your vote on tabling this, yay or nay? Do you want to table this? Yay or nay? I'm just trying to make it clear.
I know.
I'm doing this alphabetically, so I'm not picking on you.
I understand. I appreciate it. No, I don't want to table it. No.
Pardon me?
No, I don't want to table it.
Okay, there's a nay. Councillor Hatt.
I've asked to table it.
Yes, yay. Deputy Mayor Hatt.
Nay.
Councillor Lee. Councillor McQuarrie. Councillor McKay. Oh, sorry. Nay. Councillor Thompson.
Nay.
Nay. Councillor Tidd. Yay. So I think, therefore, that motion is carried as a nay. Sorry, is defeated. Sorry, the motion is defeated. It's now we move on to the actual motion, which, Chris, I'm going to have to ask you to ask one more time so council is clear what they're voting on.
This motion is to take the funds acquired from surplus fire items and use it to put drafting stations in Sealy's Cove, Second Falls, McGee's Brook, Blackman's Brook, Back Bay Ward for a cost of $12,000.
Councillor Thompson, is that your motion?
Yes.
Seconder.
Already been seconded by Deputy Mayor.
Deputy Mayor, Hatt? Okay, great. So, question or comment on this motion? Okay, got Councillor Tidd.
I guess my comment would be, for the reasons noted from the CAO, that this should have gone to committee first. Financially, I don't think it's a wise decision of council. That's just my opinion.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, I'm going to go to Councillor Dederakis first. How do you vote on this, yay or nay, for the motion for the $12,000?
I vote yay.
Yay. Councillor Adam Hatt.
Nay.
Deputy Mayor Hatt.
Yay.
Pardon me? Yay?
Yay.
Yay, okay. They sound so much like yay and nay, so it's Councillor Lee. Yay, is it? Councillor McQuarrie. Nay? Oh, yay? Councillor McKay. No, that's better. That's a lot easier.
Very clear.
Councillor Thompson.
Yes.
Councillor Tidd. That motion is carried. Okay, we move on to Deputy Mayor Hatt. Oh, sorry, Councillor Thompson, anything else, Nick?
No, we're good.
Deputy Mayor.
I'd just like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. As Adam stated, Summerfest is going on. Everybody involved has put a lot of work into it. Get out and enjoy. And I've heard nothing but positive. You might notice the big black structure out here. It's a burn trailer. I've heard nothing but positive responses from firefighters all over the region. It was a well-used and a lot of training went on here in the last week and a half. As Lisa said, public feedback on the building bylaws, why I voted how I did. We've got to come up now with a new plan on the rebates, and we've got our work cut out for us.
Okay, that brings us to number 14, which is date and location of the next regular meeting of council. That'll be August the 21st at 7 p.m. right here at Macadavic Place. And I'll call to Councilor McKay for a motion of adjournment. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Excellent.